When we first moved on the property, it was great and I loved it. The only issue, we didn't know that we were in a drought. Asked the neighbours, do we have to be careful of maybe floodways or that? And they said, no, you're all good. We ended up seeing like a little creekway, what's just up there, what runs through down here, and we're like, never thought about it because it never flooded. After building our houses and did what we had to do, after a few years, then we got hit by massive storms. Now we have to deal with all the time is this being a marshland, and this is very like regular. This is all the time now, that this is always wet, mushy, bad land. The gums love it, that's why the gums will grow through here. I should have realized when there was so many gums around where I live, that I should have realized that there was a reason why we had so many gums. Because I have the gum here, and there's all gums through here. And I should have realized that this is saying that there is a large amount of water source always sits here. At the front of the property, there's all cypress. The whole front of the property is small, large cypress. I should have built there, but I wanted to be close to a water source so I had some kind of water. I am now, I am literally on a lagoon. And it gets irritating because the frogs at night are always screeching, and crickets and sorts of animals and locusts and everything. And don't go outside at night because you'll get carried away by the mosquitoes. But it doesn't deter me from the property. I do love the land, like what it looks like and how it is. I do not hate it at all. I do love how the gums are there, and I love the landscape. It is a bit irritating that where we built was a swamp ground and does hold water just in this section of land. But from putting barriers up through here, stopped any water going towards the house, keeping the water all on this side of the property. As you can see, I try to clear this land as much as I can, but it's just a water course. We haven't had rain for a week or so, and as you can see, the water just continually sits here because it is a lagoon. It is always floods, and the worst thing is because it runs down here, it always runs down my roadway as well, because it cuts through the middle of the property to the middle of the roadway. I should have realized, because all of the gums over there, something was telling me that there was a large water source, because gums love a large water source. That's why I built kind of over here, because there's like a natural causeway what runs down this way. So there's a kind of a bit of a creek. And when we first built here, there was no water at all. Like, there was not a single drop of water. It took a few years after we built to finally see that we have water coming through here. One of the problems that we have is all the water runs from the hillside down to us and floods this part of the property out. As you can see, some kangaroos running around the background, but I don't mind it. I do really like this because, one, we get native animals who come in like kangaroos, wallabies and all that. It is a type of water source, and this is always fall through here because it's a natural flowway, and I am quite happy where we built. Like, it could have been worse. I could have built somewhere where we never got water and we'll dry all the time. At least I'm getting some kind of water what runs through, and we get to see the amazing animals and that, like kangaroos and stuff, what come through the property to us. And I would never be able to see these type of creatures if I didn't have water source or food source for them. We could have built somewhere totally different. I could have avoided this altogether, but I do like it. It was just, it's going to take me time. I do have plans for the future to hire an excavator because we're going to dredge this out and put all the soil on that side all the way down there. So we stops our place going under, but it doesn't stop the natural flow of the creek, because we don't want to be one of them people, like, you know, I don't want to block off the water course and then it diverts the water somewhere else, and you know, I don't want to cause, you know, my neighbor to get flooded out because of my stupidity kind of thing. So I'm going to keep the water where it's been naturally flowing for the years. The neighbor beside me, he doesn't care, he wants as much water as he can get. But at the end of the day, any land that you look at buying, or you know, living on, or renting, or whatever you're going to do, there's always going to be the possibility of problems. There's never going to be perfect property. Like, we have a flood zone here, but a bit further down the track it never gets flooded in. But I would rather be somewhere close that we do get water, even if the mosquitoes and the noisy animals and that, than be somewhere where we never get any water. It's always dry, it's always, there's grass, but it's just dry, so dead down there. It's just ironbark and cypress. There's no gums, there's no nice looking trees, it's just dead looking land. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the content. If you did like the content, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. It'd be supporting me big time. And I'll catch you in the next one.